Artificial intelligence first beat a human in a chess match 24 years ago. Since then, AI has grown exponentially. It is driving cars and diagnosing diseases. It can write news articles and create artistic masterpieces. It can fight the enemy on a battlefield. In coming years, it will do nothing short of reorganizing the world as we know it. But America is at great risk of falling behind China in the race to dominate this realm. That last part is according to the National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence. It is a blue ribbon panel of top thinkers and executives who have just sent their final report to Congress and the President. The chair of the commission, former Google head Eric Schmidt, joins me now. I should note that I am an unpaid advisor to Eric Schmidt's organization, Schmidt Futures. Welcome, Eric. Let me ask you first, do you agree with that characterization that artificial intelligence is going to be sprinkled or coursed through the entire economy of the future?
Thank you. Extremely well said. What we now know is that AI will be the basis of pretty much everything you deal with over the next 5 or 10 years. It'll be present in your information space. It'll be present in your medical care. It will be present in how your car works. Over and over again, AI is going to be an essential part of the world, and in particular, the United States.
And are you confident in saying that right now your fear is that China is actually ahead?
We were constituted 2 years ago. This is a bipartisan group of about 15 commissioners to look at this question. We came to the conclusion that the United States is today ahead, but may lose our lead fairly quickly. The reason is that China has decided to focus on leadership in AI by 2030 and is doing the necessary steps to provide that leadership. We believe that it is a national emergency, literally a threat to our nation, unless we get our act together with respect to focusing on AI in the federal government and international security, and we make hundreds of recommendations for the Congress and the White House to follow.
But right now, Eric, you do point out in the report, China has twice as many supercomputers as the United States. You point out that its 5G program or the outlook is much, much stronger. You point out that the Chinese use more data. They have 4 times as many people. All this, I mean, this sounds like it's already happening, that they are moving ahead.
They are planning to move ahead. We have a chance to save it. We continue to be the innovators globally. We continue to have the strongest and best companies. China is already a lead in face recognition, no surprise there, as well as in electronic commerce. They aspire to be leaders in synthetic biology, and they're almost certainly very far ahead of us in 5G. They are a significant global competitor to the West and to America. They're organized in a central planning way, and AI tends to benefit from having large sets of data and lots of money. America is not organized that way. Our recommendations include a top-level panel that would be convened under the Vice President to focus on technology competitiveness and global competitiveness. It also includes very, very significant increases in R&D funding and an awful lot of training. The government is not today prepared for this new technology. They just don't have the skills inside of it yet.
You've talked about the importance of getting the government involved. I mean, you're a private sector guy, a Silicon Valley entrepreneur. You don't worry about the government investing, industrial policy, you know, all those fears that the government will waste the money?
Well, you know, we have a competitor in the form of China who has an industrial policy which has much more money, very smart people, and global ambitions. We need a strategy to win against that. And that's not just true in AI, it's true of all of the key technologies. One of the things in our report is we list key technologies that will be the platform drivers in economics for the United States in the future. We estimate that winning the AI battle is a $50 trillion business over 20 years or so. So the amounts of money at stake here are huge, and we're not prepared. We need to double our R&D spending in our universities. We need to make sure we have a national research network for startups and small technical groups, university faculties to build the next generation of AI. The AI winner is not yet determined. It's the next great challenge.
How much money in dollars do you think the United States should be investing in order to compete with China?
In the report, we suggest a doubling of basic R&D every year, which I think is probably as fast as we can absorb it. And we estimate that that number should get to about $30 billion. $30 billion seems like a lot of money, but when we're playing with trillions of dollars of industry profits, growth, and value, you can see. Imagine the worst case, which is we don't do this, and the great next companies all come out of China, and that the fantastic technology companies that have been built in the United States, which comprise 20% of our stock market value, end up being in another country and not under our control. There's national security concerns, and also, by the way, there's values concerns. If these things were built in China, for example, they are not necessarily going to follow our privacy rules, our respect for ethics. They're going to have their own rules, which are not ones that any of us want to be subject to. So we have to be careful to win this battle. There are 5 or 6 core platform battles that America is in the process of facing that we may lose. I mentioned 2. Energy is another one. Autonomy and robotics is another one. Additive manufacturing is another one. These are all areas that China has prioritized in their Made in 2025 plan, and they're known to put their money behind their central planning. They intend to win. We have to respond competitively. This is not a war. This is a competition that we can win if we get ourselves organized. I'm worried that because of the structure of China, they're going to move quicker than we are, even with the great things that we are as a democracy.
Eric Schmidt, a very important message. Thank you.
Thank you.